Good afternoon and welcome to Quays TV News. I'm Lucinda Parker. The former South African President Nelson Mandela has died at the age of 95. He had been suffering from a series of lung infections over the last 2 years and passed away at his home in Johannesburg in the company of his family. The current president, Jacob Zuma, delivered a televised statement informing the nation of his passing. He announced that Mr Mandela will receive a state funeral and ordered that all national flags be lowered to a half-mast in homage. Traffic wardens were seen issuing parking tickets on cars that had been stopped due to an accident involving a man being hit by a bus in Salford. The fines were issued yesterday when police sectioned off parts of Salford shopping city after a 33-year-old man was dragged under a bus. Witnesses have said that the traffic wardens refused to consider the fines when confronted by angry drivers. The council released a statement saying drivers who have been fined have the right to appeal due to the circumstances. The injured man was flown to hospital by air ambulance. He remains in Salford Royal Hospital with a broken collarbone and wrist. The Victorian Christmas markets have returned once again to the Lowry outlet here at the Salford Quays, but the strong gale force winds that struck the entire country yesterday prevented them from opening up. Passers-by explained how the tables and marquees from their stalls could be seen flying around uncontrollably. However, today the wind has died down, so they have opened up and are ready for shoppers to experience the Charles Dickens themed stalls. There are also a variety of street performers roaming the Lowry, entertaining passers-by. Shoppers can visit the 100 stalls until this Sunday, so make sure you get yourselves down there. A recent survey reveals that Manchester is continuing its position as UK's second top shopping destination outside of London. The success is expected to continue as £1 million will be invested annually for the next 5 years to improve the city centre. The top shopping destinations this year are Oxford Street in London, Manchester, Birmingham and Glasgow.
Manchester would be definitely the amount of shops we have, just because it's always kind of easy to go between one shop and another shop. You can just kind of get everything done at once, really.
Every shop you want you can find in Manchester. I love it.
Absolutely everything, yeah.
Around 20 enterprising students from the University of Salford are selling their wares this week. The Christmas pop-up shop offers a wide range of items including handmade gifts, jewellery, festive woolen goods and Christmas decorations. The shop is located in the hub at Peel Park campus and it will be open until the 11th of December.
There's just so many students that are quite talented and have a lot of, making little crafts and crochet, make jewellery, and I just think, it was really hard for me when I was starting out. So as an enterprise team, we wanted to give them an opportunity to do some test trading. So that's why we've popped up for the next for a week and a half, just to give them a chance to just to see what it's like, what students are saying, to get some feedback, and just get the experience of the selling, but it's also the making and the setting up of a store. So.
Sorry, we seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties. And now for the latest entertainment news, our film critic Will joins us here in the studio. Hi Will.
Hello.
So what have you been watching this week?
Well, the big film, certainly of the moment, is The Hunger Games Catching Fire, which is the second instalment in the Hunger Games franchise, which is based off the book by Suzanne Collins. Now, when the second book came out, critics slammed it for being a cynical retread of the first book. And I feel like this movie is a adaptation of that cynical book. This isn't The Hunger Games 2, this is The Hunger Games again, as it pretty much is a retread of all the important stuff that happened in the first movie. And everyone I've spoken to who loves this movie, and they are legion, they have said that they have read the book. So I'm assuming that they've brought their love of the franchise from the books into the movies, because as a movie, I've not read the books, but as a movie it just feels very weak, very repetitive, and not an awful lot happens other than the physical movement of the characters. There's no character arcs, and have you read the books at all?
I haven't actually, I have to admit I haven't.
But yeah, they're very popular with young adults, and that's obviously the audience that this movie is aiming towards. But when the characters get into the Hunger Games, which is the main thrust of the narrative, they literally just sit around and wait for the anticlimactic cliffhanger to come to them. Not an awful lot happens, and even for people who love the franchise, I really can't recommend this movie, and just because it's really just biding time for the next one. So, to be honest, I really can't recommend it.
What would you say the best part is?
Well, the best part is that
There is one.
the best part is in the first half hour, because that's when it is actually an evolution of the first film, where they're talking about the reality TV commentary that the whole franchise has been built upon, and that is legitimately interesting stuff. But it just seems to be in a rush to get rid of all of that interesting stuff and just move on to retreading the first movie again. So it had it right in its hands, but it lost it.
Are there any more films coming?
Yeah,
or
well, right
are there
now,
more books? I'm not too sure.
Oh, for the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Yes, there's the Mockingjay book, which is the third book in the series, but that's been split up into 2 films, because after Harry Potter and Twilight, that's really the popular thing to do now.
Yeah.
Which it's been a controversial move, because people are saying that there's not enough material, but we'll see how it plays out.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
The winner of the Key to the City competition, hosted by the Printworks, was announced this week. Kat Houston reports.
Laura Wally has this week won prizes amounting to an incredible £1,000 thanks to Printworks. Along with tickets to JLS, Laura won an overnight stay in a hotel, dinner for 2 in the Printworks with a choice of Waxy O'Connor's or Hard Rock Cafe. She further received 4 tickets to see a show in the Exchange Theatre, free parking for a month and a month's membership to Virgin Active.
I got an email from the Printworks letting me know that I'd won. So I was obviously very excited. I gave them a call and they talked me through all the prizes that I'd won. And yeah, I was at work, so I couldn't scream and shout too much, but I was obviously really, really excited. I couldn't believe I'd won. Well, I'm excited about all of them, but probably the one I'm most excited about is going to the concert to see JLS, just because my sister's a really big fan, so I'm excited about being able to take her.
Keys to the City is a monthly competition. It started.
Sorry again for that cutting out. On to sport news now, and in rugby union, England's top flight clubs have stressed that they will not take part in the Heineken Cup next season. English and French clubs gave notice 17 months ago that they would leave the competition and form a breakaway competition. But last week, French teams committed to the current tournament, prolonging as their English counterparts also did. Premiership Rugby has said it's looking at a number of other options. On the blue side of Manchester, City helped their title challenge with a 3-2 win over West Brom. Captain Vincent Kompany has admitted he must avoid rushing from injury in future. The Blues will be looking to continue their winning streak when they travel to the Saints on Saturday. And now it's time for the weather. It's Helen Rowe-Wilcox.
Thanks, Lucinda. Yesterday's storm included the worst tidal surge in 60 years. Many of the coastlines around the UK were flooded, including Blackpool. There were many incidents around Manchester. A lorry overturned on Barton Bridge, closing 2 lanes, and a man had a lucky escape after a tree fell on his van. The worst of the storm has passed through the northwest now, and there are no more weather warnings in place for us. For the rest of the week then, we've got the weather for the weekend is going to remain windy, with showers expected and temperatures getting warmer. For this afternoon, outbreaks of rain are expected, which will spread northeastwards. Some of this may turn to snow over the hills near Cumbria. Staying cloudy with highs of 6 degrees, but it'll feel more like -1. The winds are still strong, but much calmer than yesterday. Temperatures are becoming warmer on Saturday, remaining dry, but by Sunday the light showers are returning and temperatures continue to increase. For the start of next week, temperatures are expected to reach 10 degrees, which is higher than average, and hopefully a dry few days are expected next week. Thank you, Lisa.
That's all for now. We'll be back next Friday for our Christmas special programme at 8 a.m. We will have a chat show, film special with Will, and a comedy panel show. Don't forget to check out our website at keysnews.net and follow us on Twitter at keysnews. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.